It's cool that we heard the theme at the very end of the movie.
At the end of the movie in the credits instead of the beginning where it belonged.
I was like kind of looking forward to what creative things they were going to do with the siren opening, you know?
Yeah, they just like reused the footage from...
They reused the footage at the end of the movie.
Yeah, exactly, at the end.
Yeah, it's got like a shitty generic opening title, you know?
Yeah, just some 3D text.
Yeah.
Nobody messes with Police Squad.
The Naked Gun, 2025, not to be confused with the original from the files of Police Squad. I had very, very low expectations for this film.
Yeah,
and
same here.
I mean, everybody loves Liam Neeson. I think he was a good choice to pick up this mantle from Leslie Nielsen. But even with that, after seeing the trailer and like hearing they were doing this, I was just not excited. Especially since the Zucker brothers were not involved.
Absolutely,
in this at all, which really pissed me off because...
Same. Still pisses me off.
Well, you certainly seem to be in touch with your anger.
For them to not be involved already set the tone.
Well, we know why they're not involved.
Well,
because they're fucking based.
Ancient history, like the Democratic Party.
You know, I'd like to say I was pleasantly surprised. It was a lean 90 minutes. It was funny at times.
There were a couple of jokes.
Yeah.
One in particular that actually had me laughing pretty hard.
Yeah. It never really landed the way the old movies did.
I know.
No, and that's the main problem. Making a spoof movie, like, which is very insulting, it's very offensive. You can't do that now.
Right, it's hard. You got to kind of tiptoe around some of these jokes that would have just been commonplace if you watched these movies in the early 90s.
Nice beaver.
Thank you. I just had it stuffed.
Let me help you with that.
So that's kind of annoying, but then at other times, like, they did do some good jokes like that felt like they were throwbacks that would have worked back then, but you could tell like where they were restraining themselves.
Well, yeah, I mean, like in Naked Gun 33 1/3, there's the part where at the very end, Anna Nicole Smith takes her pants off, basically, and you see in the shadow, there's like a gonzo nose that comes up as a dick, and he's like appalled by it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're not going to do that now.
No.
That's the sort of humor that was missing from this movie. Yes, they can do like fart jokes, basically. The immature aspect of it, they can do still.
In the bathroom.
But there are like sexual jokes, certain areas that they just cannot go to now because things are so
But I
fucking
feel
retarded
like,
now.
you know, the way things are going, maybe they could have got there. They should have just done it, and I think the movie would have been more successful for that.
Absolutely. Well, it definitely, even though they didn't go as far as they could, you can tell that maybe because of the cultural shift that's going on right now, they're starting to like...
Yeah, they're like, maybe we
play
can
with it a
do
little.
some of these jokes again.
Is it just my imagination, or is the whole world crazy?
No, it's just a small percentage of the population.
I had mentioned this after we saw it, because they did a joke like this in Happy Gilmore 2, where they touch on something that would have been like a normal joke in the 90s, but now it's like, oh, we can't say that.
This girl's got some body on her.
Hey, we do not objectify women anymore. What?
So a character will mention it, and another character has to like correct them, and then the other character's like, oh, I can't say that anymore, and like they kind of poke fun at it, but at the same time, it's like a safe way of still doing.
They're just trying to find a way that they can acknowledge it.
They're acknowledging it, just kind of saying like, oh, we're like grown up now. This is for the modern audience, but like, you know, for you old people still watching, like, look, hey, we kind of gave you a little bit of that. I hate that shit.
Yeah, it's fucking lame.
What a mind bender, huh?
The joke that Danny Houston makes about his club where you could still say retarded.
Of course, the bad guy's like, oh, I have a club where you can still use that word.
Right. Exactly. That's what I'm talking about. Like,
of course, the bad guy is like okay with saying words like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, fuck off.
I know the feeling.
Our Elon Musk inspired villain.
Danny Houston is like the go-to guy where you need your generic villain. Here you go, Danny Houston.
Your generic billionaire villain.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's funny too because this time last year we were watching him as a villain in The Crow.
The Crow remake.
The Crow remake. Right, exactly. He was horrible in that because of the writing.
It's not his fault.
He's a lot better in this because the character was at least written better.
Well, you can tell he's enjoying himself.
He's enjoying himself doing these
Whereas
roles.
The Crow, he was not, clearly.
No. He needed to buy a car or something.
Yeah, exactly.
But this, you could tell he was having a little more fun.
That's true.
This movie, it didn't try and do anything ridiculous. It kind of stuck to like a very simple, tried and true plot.
You get in, get out, ha ha ha, and that's it.
Exactly.
It pokes fun at the cop procedural.
Yeah, the cop procedural, right. And this one poked a lot of fun at like the noir. It almost felt like they should have just made this another sequel instead of soft reboot, which it is, because we're just like in this world of soft reboots now. He's supposed to be Leslie Nielsen's son.
I don't feel like there's that much of an age gap. Like, you know what I mean?
I feel like they're both old in my mind.
Yeah, exactly.
Even though like
and they look
he is
nothing
a lot
alike.
younger. Yeah, they look nothing. Right. I feel like Liam Neeson can do this type of humor.
I'm a funny guy, aren't I? I'm funny, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like he's never really gotten his dues when it comes to his comedic sensibilities.
Right,
Like,
and I still feel like he could have made it even more serious.
Yeah.
Like there were times where he was kind of just acting a little
and
hammy.
that's also one of my problems is if you watch Leslie Nielsen, yeah, there are some like obviously some like hammy moments in there, but for the most part, what makes him so good in those fucking movies is just how straight he plays it.
Bingo.
But Liam Neeson like definitely knows I'm in a funny movie, and it's like very apparent.
Frank Drebin, Police Squad. The new version.
And I just wish he played it a little bit more straight.
Yeah,
That'd have made
if
it
he
more
had played
funny.
it a little straighter, some of the jokes would have hit a little better. Because
Yeah.
like they're just throwing so many jokes at you left and right. Some are landing, some are not landing.
Did you feel like I kind of felt like the movie was very hot out the gate, like a lot of jokes just like left and right in the very beginning. Then as it kind of went on, during the middle section, it was a little light on that, or not necessarily light, but the jokes weren't landing as much as they were.
There were some jokes that just weren't hitting.
Yeah.
And then they moved on quickly to some slapstick thing.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's like, okay, and then you kind of forget about it. So I think there was like enough going on that you kind of just overlook some of it. When you think back on it, it's like, yeah, some of those weren't really landing at all.
Guess I'm getting a bit rusty.
Going back to how this is like a soft reboot, it's kind of weird. Like, I feel like they should have either just completely disregarded the original series and just start your reboot fresh, like he's just Frank Drebin. But this did it where you kind of have to have a little knowledge of the older movies.
Yeah.
But the last movie came out in what, like 94?
Yeah, something
or something.
like that,
So
yeah.
you're talking about like 30 years removed from the last Naked Gun movie. I was trying to figure out like who's this for if not just us. Like the younger generation is not gonna like really get this type of subgenre. Apparently like they're making like another scary movie. Like they're doing another one of those. So like maybe it's coming back.
Well,
I don't know.
Maybe, but again, it comes down to the way audiences are now, and Gen Z, like I don't know if they're gonna even think this sort of thing is funny.
I don't know, but like with the amount of jokes that are flying at you left and right, like maybe that does appeal to this type of generation.
I think that like if you were to take a time machine and drop fucking Gen Z off person in 1990 and they were to watch TV, they would think that shit's fucking hilarious. Like it is, because it just objectively was better, funnier back then.
Right.
Funny how you miss the little things.
It's just the time that we're in right now and what everyone's sort of seeing every day on social media and whatnot. It's just that kind of humor is just like a dinosaur at this point.
You're right.
And like Airplane is my favorite comedy of all time.
It's up there for me.
You ever seen a grown man naked?
The Naked Gun movies, I mean, this is definitely, if you want to put all 4 films together, not counting the TV show, this definitely ranks as number 4.
Oh, absolutely.
But it was still done in a vein that felt like a continuation of the style and the humor.
For the most part.
You know, like, because they were doing a lot of jokes that have been done in these movies, and you're like, okay, they've done that, but they're still kind of like tried and true, and they still get a chuckle out of you sometimes. So I thought it succeeded in that regard. Like, it didn't change up the approach too much that it didn't feel like a Naked Gun movie.
It doesn't feel like a Naked Gun movie in the sense that the way movies are made nowadays.
Well, yeah.
You're both right.
It just has that shitty like gloss and sheen on it that, you know, the originals of course don't have. When the third one came out, everyone's like, oh fuck, this movie's not that funny, this is the weakest one. And at the time, yeah, the third one was the weakest out of the 3, but it still is a good, funny watch.
It was so funny, yeah.
You know, and like the third one's better than this movie by far.
Oh yeah. This movie only had a few scenes that were real standout scenes.
Yeah, I chuckled a couple times, but the infrared scene.
The infrared scene with the turkey baster.
Yeah, that part was...
And it just like kept going too, and the guy's reaction like, oh god.
They took it really far, like farther than I thought it was going to go.
Yeah, I thought
so
it was going to end
got like
after,
a reaction out of me.
After she was squirting it out over the turkey, I was like, okay, yeah. And then the dog comes in, and you're like, okay, this is pretty good.
Yeah.
That was definitely a standout scene. And then like it goes from like that high to the montage where they go away for the weekend and with the whole snowman thing.
Turns into like a Evil Dead flick with a fucking
Yeah,
snowman.
it was like, I think they went a little far with that.
You could take it that far, but it just really wasn't funny the way they did it.
I made a big mistake.
We didn't talk about Pam Anderson. Comes in as the maybe femme fatale. Liam Neeson drops the best line of the movie.
Must have been quite the joke.
Oh my
Which
god!
I was not
Yeah.
expecting, where he was like, she's got an ass that makes a toilet beg for the brown. Like, it was so good, and it was so out of left field.
Literally was the best line in the movie though.
Yeah.
Like that's the first time we laughed.
Yeah.
And then the second time was the.
Yeah. But I mean,
The-
like, really laughed. Like,
Yeah.
that was a solid line. I was like, okay, please just, like, keep doing more of this type of humor. And unfortunately, they didn't really. Like,
I mean, they tried to, but
Yeah.
it didn't land the way that line landed.
No. That line landed perfectly.
Yeah. And his delivery was so good.
And you know, like they've got all the little gags flying around, like with the. I love when the coffee cup comes through the car while he's driving.
Okay,
You know,
that
but,
was
like,
funny, but fuck, dude, there's so
went-
many like coffee cup gags in that movie.
Yeah,
and
they
it
went
wasn't
like
that funny.
overboard with it. Like the first couple times, it's like, yeah, it's funny, and then when it comes in through the car window, like that's funny. But then it's like, okay, find a new shtick.
That's like the gag of the movie. Is the coffee cups.
The coffee cups.
You're right.
I did like Ed's son when he was like serving beer to the kids, and then they all go crazy, and he was like kicking the shit out of the kids. He flung that one kid into the vending
Yeah, that
machine.
was
Like
funny, yeah.
those moments, like they're going there with some moments, but then not others. Just let it all out. Audiences can handle it.
Not only can they handle it, they want it.
They want it.
So do I.
That's the
They
thing.
prefer it, and it'll give more buzz around your movie.
Absolutely. Exactly.
It doesn't matter who you piss off. People are going to be like, "Oh shit, they did what in this movie?"
If you are the first movie to make a normal movie again,
Yeah.
in terms of a comedy,
Yeah.
you're going to generate that buzz, whether
Yeah.
it be positive or negative,
doesn't
whatever.
matter.
But people are going
gonna go see it.
People will go fucking see it.
Yeah.
And people will like it because
Yeah.
people are begging for normalcy right now.
Yeah.
That's what they want.
Why, that's brilliant. That's a lot better than what I'd come up with.
You got Lauren Balfe coming in to do the generic score
Yeah.
that he does for these legacy sequels.
Yep, he's Mr. Legacy. It was weird watching the movie because there's times where you hear
It's like some Inception in
there's
there.
like some like heavy Inception-inspired music in this movie, and then
He
you
worked on-
realize
he-
like,
he
oh
worked
yeah,
on
he worked on
Inception.
Inception
Yeah, with Hans
Zimmer.
Zimmer.
So there's like moments in this movie where you just hear other film scores.
You hear some Dark Knight in there, especially
Yeah.
during the bank heist
Yep,
in the
yep.
beginning.
And then you get to the end, and then the actual theme song comes in.
The Ira Newborn Naked Gun theme comes in.
Yep.
You're like, oh, I wish it kind of sounded a
Oh
little bit
wow,
more
the
like
movie should
this.
have like had this in the opening.
Yeah.
You know, and they do. I did like they do the freeze frame at the end, like they used to do in the show. Appreciated the little touches, but the little touches just didn't come until the end. Priscilla Presley makes a little cameo there at the end.
Yeah.
I think that was her.
I think so.
But like they just like cuts to her and she's just watching the TV. And it's
Yeah.
like she has a moment where she's like, "Oh, that's my son." Here's like the one connection with an actor who was in the old movies. If you're gonna lean into the old stuff, like have a scene where he goes and sees his mom or something.
Well, and not
like,
to mention, there's also a gag in the movie where like his mom calls him and he's like, "I'm in the middle of something, Mom," you know, or whatever it was.
Yeah.
So they kind of set that up, and then you see her later on. So yeah, give her a scene with
give
him
her
or
a
something.
scene, right? Like, why even have her there for just one
Yeah.
shot where you just see her watching a TV looking concerned?
Yeah, it's
It's
literally
well,
one
just
shot.
Either don't have her in the movie or give her a scene.
Well, yeah.
You're trying to stand on your own with this. Like, I don't think it's going to play. Like, you're not starting up the franchise again with this movie. You know, it's not good enough for that. But you're still kind of like leaning a little bit into the old one. Just for a few moments. Either lean into it and really pull from that, or just don't acknowledge it at all.
Exactly.
That was awesome.
Ranking wise, had some good laughs. Bunch of jokes fell short.
More jokes fell short than landed.
Exactly. But there were still good things I liked about it. So I went 6 out of 10.
I went 6 out of 10 as well.
Better than okay, but not
It
really
wasn't
great.
like a standout or anything.
Not
It
really.
was just fine.
Yeah, if they had really leaned into and done more humor that would really get people talking, like that turkey baster scene, like I think the movie would have piqued our interests a little more. Maybe
Yeah.
get that word of mouth going a little more. But this, it's like, yeah, If you're a fan of the old movies, I would say yes, go see it. If you're like completely new to the Naked Gun franchise, like you're probably gonna watch this and be like, this is stupid.
I agree. I think that this movie is just like 1 or 2 years too early.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, right.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
You know, once things become culturally safe to
Right.
like, joke about again.
Yeah, maybe
like,
if they had given the Zucker brothers a call, they could have read the script and been like, no. You need to like punch it up here, here, and here. And I think we would have had a pretty solid Naked Gun movie again.
according to one of the Zuckers, he says that they had a script for it and everything.
No shit.
Yeah, he was on Dave Rubin recently.
I don't hear from my manager. I don't hear from my agent. And then I wake up to read that Naked Gun 4 is being done with Seth MacFarlane has taken over the franchise.
Leading into our other scale, I wouldn't necessarily say there was any real agenda being pushed in this film at all.
Not really, no.
You know, I mean, they were not so subtly turning Danny Houston into Elon Musk.
Yeah, that's like the only bit though, really.
Yeah.
You know.
And even then, like, he just had generic bad guy plans. I went half of one
Same.
rainbow for this. So nothing really crazy, which is nice, refreshing, how it should be.
So do you recommend it then?
If you're of a certain age and you've seen the Naked Gun movies, you've seen the Airplane movies, I think it's a nice little like, oh yeah, I remember when these movies were around. So I would recommend it in that regard. Like, if you haven't seen those movies, probably not.
Do you think it's worth paying for a ticket, buying some popcorn, sitting down with a Slurpee?
Unfortunately, no.
I don't know if it's,
$55 later, is it worth it?
I don't know if it's worth it after that. I can't say I was like bored. I did enjoy it,
Yeah, it's fine.
but it's not something like you have to go see in the theater.
Audience seemed to enjoy it though.
Oh
They
yeah,
were-
the whole theater was
I had
laughing,
this idiot next to me that had the dumbest fucking laugh ever.
just chuckling the whole time, even at the jokes that didn't land.
There was a part in the movie where she's like, oh, you know, I don't know if my brother deserved to die. And he was like, well, maybe. I mean, did he have an obnoxious laugh?
Yeah.
I want to look at the fucking
Just
guy
look at-
next to me.
There were times where there were jokes happening that were in the trailer, so you know they're coming, and then you hear that one dude off to the side like, ha 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 ha. It's like, did you not see the trailer? You didn't know that was coming? I guess you didn't. I don't know.